We are not rich by what we possess but by what we can do without. He who is cruel to animals becomes hard also in his dealings with men. We can judge the heart of a man by his treatment of animals. Act only according to that maxim whereby you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. Two things fill the mind with ever new and increasing admiration and awe. The oftener and more steadily we reflect on them, the starry heavens above and the moral law within. Act in such a way that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never merely as a means to an end, but always at the same time as an end. Look closely. The beautiful may be small. I had to deny knowledge in order to make room for faith. Have the courage to use your own reason. That is the motto of enlightenment. To be as to do. Dare to think. How then is perfection to be sought? Wherein lies our hope? In education, and in nothing else. If the truth shall kill them, let them die. Beauty presents an indeterminate concept of understanding, the sublime and indeterminate concept of reason. The schematicism by which our understanding deals with the phenomenal world is a skill so deeply hidden in the human soul that we shall hardly guess the secret trick that nature here employs. Simply to acquiesce in skepticism can never suffice to overcome the restlessness of reason. Dignity is a value that creates irreplaceability. One who makes himself a worm cannot complain afterwards if people step on him. All our knowledge begins with the senses, proceeds then to the understanding, and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than reason. There is something splendid about innocence. But what is bad about it, in turn, is that it cannot protect itself very well and is easily seduced. The touchstone of everything that can be concluded as a law for a people lies in the question whether the people could have imposed such a law on itself. Law and freedom without violence. Anarchy, law and violence without freedom, despotism. Violence without freedom and law. Barbarism, violence with freedom and law, republic. In all judgments by which we describe anything as beautiful, we allow no one to be of another opinion. All human cognition begins with intuitions, proceeds from thence to conceptions, and ends with ideas. Human beings are never to be treated as a means but always as ends. For peace to reign on earth, humans must evolve into new beings who have learned to see the whole first. Enlightenment is man's emergence from his self-incurred immaturity. Have the courage to use your own reason. That is the motto of enlightenment. It is beyond a doubt that all our knowledge begins with experience. In every department of physical science there is only so much science, properly so called, as there is mathematics. Out of the crooked timber of humanity, no straight thing was ever made. Rules for happiness. something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. Seek not the favor of the multitude. It is seldom got by honest and lawful means. But seek the testimony of few, and number not voices, but weigh them. Nothing is divine but what is agreeable to reason. Marriage is the union of two people of different sexes with a view to the mutual possession of each other's sexual attributes for the duration of their lives. By a lie a man throws away and as it were annihilates his dignity as a man. Human reason, in one sphere of its cognition, is called upon to consider questions, which it cannot decline, as they are presented by its own nature, but which it cannot answer, as they transcend every faculty of the mind. The busier we are, the more acutely we feel that we live, the more conscious we are of life. Genius is the ability to independently arrive at and understand concepts that would normally have to be taught by another person. The death of dogma is the birth of morality. But although all our knowledge begins with experience, it does not follow that it arises from experience. From the crooked timber of humanity, a straight board cannot be hewn. Better the whole people perish than that injustice be done. But only he who, himself enlightened, is not afraid of shadows. Space and time are the framework within which the mind is constrained to construct its experience of reality. Do not let back into your life those people who themselves left it. Who left, finding someone to replace you. Who left, saying that you bored them. Who just left without saying anything. An action, to have moral worth, must be done from duty. Only the descent into the hell of self-knowledge can pave the way to godliness. What might be said of things in themselves, separated from all relationship to our senses, remains for us absolutely unknown. A categorical imperative would be one which represented an action as objectively necessary in itself, without reference to any other purpose.